What up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the WiseTake KBO DFS Wise stream. CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I, of course, am from the WiseTake Nation, which you can find on all the social media platforms listed above or directly at WiseTake.com. We are a premium DFS content provider, as well as a DFS community designed to help make you a better DFS player. Go check us out at WiseTake.com if you're looking to take a game to the next level. If you're new to the channel, welcome. You came to the right place for some free quality DFS content. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell so you're notified whenever we go live. We cover all sorts of sports right now, especially it's booming. We've got PGA streams, NASCAR streams, and KBO streams, and pretty soon we'll have NBA streams when the NBA comes back. Holla. Very busy day in sports, a very busy couple of days. We had NASCAR going right now. Tomorrow we have PGA locking in the morning. League of Legends has been running this whole time, and KBO running this whole time as well. So all across the world, DFS went from nothing to now having several options. MMA, that's been popping off. I haven't really gotten down on that, but a lot going on. So much going on that I've had to push things back by a few hours at a time. For instance, these projections that you're going to see on the screen, they are updated. However, I have not made the final tweaks. I'll be doing that as I'm finishing my article, which will be after the show. And then after that, I'll post all the content, the cheat sheets, projections, all that stuff over at WiseTake.com. But it's cool because I kind of like when I haven't got a chance to really go through it, because outside of just updating, because then I kind of get to go through it with you guys, and so it's fun for me that way. You know, don't get me wrong, man. I'm cool riding solo on stuff, but it is cool to have the nation to kind of bullshit with, kick ideas off of it, and hearing some feedback. And some of you guys are pointing out some really, really cool stuff. Shout out to Jeffrey Dates, to see you in the chat. King B, what's going on, man? Just hilarious. Last night it rained. Yes. Tonight it rains lemonade. Yes, sir. I'm with it. King B says dirty neighbor lemonade. You guys are hilarious. Just hilarious. Yeah, I kind of jinxed myself out of a couple of stacks. I went heavier on the chalk because I panicked with the rain games. I was initially going to play a lot of Brooks, initially going to play a lot of Kia. They were in the article, and I ended up kind of bailing for the most part on all that stuff, and that kind of hurt me a little bit. I had a lot of Giants, and I know some of you hit me up on Twitter saying you had some too. So that was good. But, in general, disappointing. The two most chalky teams completely busted, and I don't think I've seen really where two chalk teams busted. Normally one of them does well, but Kiwoom was just pathetic, and they've been pathetic. Listen, I'm not, short-term memory is a thing in DFS. You kind of have to push it to the side, act like it never happened, and continue, as hard as that may be. But damn, after a while, you start to really build some resentment towards certain teams, and Kiwoom's kind of been that team for me. I want them to do well, man. I got some players I like to root for, like Byung-Ho Park and Ha-Seong Kim, Ha-Sung Kim, whatever. But man, when they shit the bed, they really, really shit the bed. Completely wasting this park. And I hate to say it, but we'll probably be going back there today, at least in some capacity, or tomorrow, depending on how you look at it. But anyway, guys, hit that like button if you haven't already. DraftKings lowered the contest, probably because of PGA. They had such massive contests in PGA. They had to lower it somewhere. So I think League of Legends and plus NASCAR today and KBO kind of got the dice. But the positives is I'm playing multiple sports. I got NASCAR teams going. I got some PGA stuff going. We got projections at WiseTake.com that I use to build 150 teams in there. And, of course, LOL, I'm still playing. Got my team set. Luckily, the lineups have been confirmed in advance. That's been cool. Man, it's just wild, bro. It's not NBA. It's not MLB. It's not NFL. But it's nice to have some shit. Definitely. It's nice to be back at work. That's for sure. With that said, Elliot, I see Elliot in the chat asking if there's any weather. I haven't seen any preliminary posts yet for weather. I'll keep an eye on that. I tried to put it in the article, or at least a link. I was able to get a link last night to put in there for a forecast. But I haven't seen anybody or do the weather forecast just yet for those areas. So there are a few people I follow, one of which is Kevin Roth. He's the one I look for mainly. But yeah, he hasn't posted anything for KBO just yet. So we'll have to see. If you're subscribed to WiseTake.com, make sure you check the article in the morning, because I had the forecast put in there late at night, but then I made additions, I think, in the morning when I woke up to do the lineups. And again, these lineups are not confirmed, they're projected. I put the confirmed lineups in once I get them, which is an hour before lock. So I'll put LGs and SKs probably around 1:30 whenever it comes out, and then I gotta wake up again at 4:30 to do the rest. So it's a grind, but hey, somebody's got to do it, right? Someone's got to do it. So make it worth it. I'm gonna win something. Go take something down. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this right now. So LG did postpone. So that worked out. I bailed on everything in that. I can't just complain about me bailing on the one game that played 5 innings and happened to go off. But I also got to be grateful that I was able to bail on this LG game for the most part. I think I got burnt by like 10% of the pitcher. I played the pitcher just in case. For some reason, they like to call the games after lock. I don't know why. It seems like predetermined that they already know. And yesterday they knew it was going to rain. Like KT, something to note, the KT Wiz made it a point to play 5 innings in that game. They had a perfect opportunity. Like the Nationals, the most national thing to do would either been to postpone it because they had Aaron Brooks pitching, or play it knowing it was going to get called and then wait for it to get called in the 3rd or 4th inning, and now you just wasted a start from the opposing team's best pitcher. So that would have been the Nationals thing to do. But they canceled they seem like KT Wiz seemed like they were determined to get that game in just to not have a makeup game. That's what it seemed like. But anyway, we'll get in with it. We have LG and SK. This is our 2 a.m. So again, initially DraftKings said it was 2:30 a.m. lock. It's actually 2 a.m. lock because this game locks at 2. Well, this slate starts at 2. So keep that in mind. And again, I will have the projected line, the confirmed lineups put in there as soon as I get them. In the meantime, we got LG. We've got SK. Again, these are projected lineups. So looking at Minho Lee going up against Ricardo Pinto. We've got SK just not looking great this year. They just don't look very good. Pretty disappointing, I would say, right? Offensively, they have a combined ISO of 102 so far this season. Jeong Choi, who had a 227 last year, slacking big time, and just got no power. They just don't have a ton of power. Romack is at least giving them something, but even he's having a down year to the pace he was on last year. 331 WOBA, they've become that team. 18% strikeout rate. Minho Lee was a guy we were looking at pitching last night, or yesterday, whatever you want to call it. And yesterday, the reason we were going to pitch him is because the pitching slate looked ugly. And honestly, today, it looks pretty damn ugly once again. Ricardo Pinto goes against LG. LG, obviously, opposite end of the spectrum. They got some boppers. 163 team ISO, led by Roberto Ramos. But you can see, they got Hyunsu Kim's got a 171. Che's got a 168. These aren't great numbers, but they're better than what we saw from the other squad. Kang Nam Yo has a 200 right now. G10 168. You'll take those opposed to what you're seeing from the other side. They don't strike out as much, 16%. We've seen them do it at times, but they don't typically. 351 WOBA, right around average, I would say. So they're obviously a pretty good offense. Slightly above average offense. And we'll take a look at the pitchers. So looking at what these guys are doing this year, we talked about Minwoo Lee. I will probably make an adjustment and raise his projection just a little bit before I finalize it, because it is taken into account his 19 projection, which he was a reliever last year. So I do need to make an adjustment. I don't like the matchup against KT, obvious. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong pitcher. I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. Minho Lee. See, I'm looking at Minwoo Lee. It's Minho Lee. Okay, so this guy I definitely like. So he's been a little lucky. 1.1 ERA to 3.29 FIP. That explains why his whip is so low. He's got a 15.52% K rate. The strikeout to walk ratio is not great, so he's going to walk some guys in there. He's been lucky. He's cheap, right? He's not as cheap. I think it was 5.8 yesterday. Now he's 7.1, so they jacked him up, I guess, because he was going to be popular, I guess. I don't know. I really don't know what the explanation is. But on a slate where we don't have a ton of good pitching options, a 3.29 FIP is pretty solid. Again, he's been lucky, so you have to worry about regression coming at some point. Where even if he just say he's good, but say he just gets unlucky a couple times with a couple bad bounces to get that ERA closer to his FIP, he could be in trouble. So I'm cool with him because I have to be open-minded. We don't have a lot of great options, and we're looking once again at a couple pitchers that could be massive chalk. So trying to think outside the box, trying to get a little different, we have to open our mind. I expect him to be somewhat popular because he was yesterday. You know what I mean? Or I think obviously people liked him yesterday. That's what I meant. But as far as Ricardo Pinto, He's not bad. I'm not pitching a dude that has a 13% K rate if I don't have to. I know I talked about being open minded. He's playing LG though, better off. I'm just not that interested. Maybe I'm writing him off a little prematurely, right? But I just don't know how much of a ceiling he has against a team like LG. I guess anything could happen. He could just have a game where he gets real lucky. And he's been a little unlucky, so I guess he's got some coming. Not much. Not much of a difference. But the whip is real high. He's walking people. Strikeouts suck. He doesn't give up a ton of home runs, but at some point, that's going to raise, you would think. What did he do last year? No, it was about the same last year. He's just not a guy I'm interested in really pitching. I don't know. It's just really like, I would rather take a shot on Lee, I guess, because at least he's got a soft matchup. With that said, I think you could definitely look at LG. I think they'll be very low owned. This is not a great park for hitting. That's the benefit to the pitchers here. But I don't mind taking shots on some of these LG guys because they're pretty cheap for the most part, man. Ramos is finally up to 4.7. Probably still too low for him, but you can see like Che is only 3.2. Their leadoff hitter is 34. Like they're pretty flexible. So I'm okay with it. SK will be very low owned. I don't know how much of them I get. It's an ugly slate. It is. That's your early game, guys. I'm not going to get too crazy with the early game, though. I'm not. I do think Minho Lee is somebody I'm going to have some shares of because I'm all out of pitching options, and you'll see what I mean. You'll see exactly what I mean. Where is this ish? Schedule status. Next up, we got the Hanwha Eagles and a lot of Giants. A whole lot of Giants. So we've got Minjae Jang. They finally put in Ho Chu into the player pool. We don't have anything on him, but at least they put him in the player pool. That's a positive sign. Let me see here. Nope. Hold up 1 second. Nation. See what we can find these dudes. So it was Ho Chu. Oh, you son of a. This dude has not been in the player pool, even though he's been starting. It took him a couple games. That's not terrible. Is he really hitting third? Or he's projected to hit third for Hanwha? Hanwha, man, they've been horrible. We'll talk about it, though. We will talk about it. Yes, we will. Han Min Jo. Okay. Some quick adjustments there. All right. So obviously we know that this team is not very good, Hanwha. The worst in the league, right? That's the reason that their coach quit on them, and then and it wasn't that he quit on them. It's that he was going to get fired, so he was probably doing what he felt was the honorable thing and just stepping down and sparing management with a weird thing or something. But they have not been good. They've not been good at all. They've been really bad. Pitchers have been going off against them. Yesterday, that pitcher No is not very good, and he dominated him. And it was a situation where I ended up with like 30% because I backed off of Brooks so much I had to raise it somewhere. And when all else fails, attack Hanwha. That's kind of been my thing. However, the Giants are throwing June 1 So, and this is really, really going to test it for you. This is really, really going to push you to the barrier. He has a 9% K rate. That's pretty low. Right, so like decisions must be made here. You know what I mean? This is gonna be an uncomfortable. If you end up having to come here, it's gonna be uncomfortable. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Giants big -200 favorites. Look at that. All kinds of these people popping up, man. All kinds. All kinds of these players, man. Yo, where we at, though? The Giants have been real hot, by the way. They've been beating up on Hanwha. Hanwha's bullpen's been taking just a beating. Their starting pitching's been bad. They've been taking a beating, horribly. And it's funny because I initially thought that Chad Bell was going to be pitching, so I thought we would have had something. But instead, it's Minjae Jang. But these are 2 weak offenses for the most part. Let's get into the pitching. All right, we'll start with Minjae Jang. So you can see a 7.58 ERA, a 4.42 FIP, So he's been a little unlucky, but he's still been bad. 14% K rate. Strikeout to walk ratio is solid, so he is throwing strikes. That's a positive. He's throwing strikes, but he doesn't strike people out. Not a recipe for success, I don't think. So I think we can look at the Lot of Giants offense again. They've been hot. Why not? And Hanwha's bullpen really has just been terrible. I will go back to Hanwha at least. I mean, to the Lot of Giants. And as far as Jun-Hwan So, I don't know if I could pitch him, man. I mean, he's got a 5.51 FIP, a 9.93 K rate. He's walking people. He's giving up a ton of home runs. This may be the one opportunity where you can actually stack Hanwha. Well, you know what I mean. Like, I may be being dramatic on like the one opportunity, but this could be that situation. Is what I mean. So again, another game where it's like, ugh, fucking horrible. But I do think that both offense, I lean the offenses over the pitching. As fucked up as that is, and maybe that's a terrible decision, but man, growing up, I was a pitcher, so like that's why I like pitching so much, and I spend so much time on it. And I just don't like playing bad pitchers, man. And these guys are just bad. So are the bats. I understand that, but something's got to give. I would lean towards the bats, honestly. And this is a slate where we have terrible pitching, and I still can't do it. Moving on, we've got the Kia Tigers and the KT Wiz. These guys got their 5 innings in last night. You can start to see that we have a lot of new players that have been called up for all these teams. Min-Woo Lee is pitching. He was the guy that I was talking about prematurely earlier. Or no, that was the LG guy. Son of a bitch. Min-Woo Lee is different. Min-Woo Lee, I think Min-Woo Lee is the one that I have to adjust the projection on. If I didn't say that before. I know I'm all over the place today, so I apologize. Just everywhere, man. Long day. We had golf kicking off, getting everything ready, man. It was just... But I do it for the nation. And I'll continue to do it for the nation because that's all I do. Okay. So, Kia Tigers, pretty good offense. KT Wiz, pretty good offense. KT Wiz striking out about 16.77% of the time. Kia Tiger striking out around the same, 16.68. The Wobas are similar, 378 for KT, 365 for Kia, 164 ISO for Kia, 174 for Kia. So for KT, so KT's slightly better, but they're very similar. And they're two good offensive teams. KT Wiz has been cold. They've been slumping ever since we saw them get hot in the beginning. They've really, really kind of fallen off. We'll look at the pitching and kind of make a determination from there. All right, so now I can talk about this dude. But let me go to 20, though. Okay. So last year, again, you notice that he's projecting fairly decent considering for the slate, and that's with being averaged of a 3.7 from last year. So I'm going to give him a boost. 275 FIP is the best on the slate. Strikeout at 17%, I could take that chance. A 2 strikeout to walk ratio is not awful considering that 17% is not a high K rate. So it's not like he gets a ton of strikeouts. Having given up a home run, it's scary. It's really scary. But I do think I like Min-Woo Lee. I think he's probably outside of the right choice situation that we'll talk about. He's probably my third favorite pitcher at this moment. And I don't know if I even have a fourth or a fifth. That's how bad shit is. I think Min-Woo Lee and then Min-Ho Lee, I guess. That's how ugly it is. But I do plan on pitching him. And I am going to raise his projection. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now. Because I don't want to forget to do this shit. I'm going to give him a couple. Oh, okay, wait. Oh, it looks like I did already earlier. But it's not showing up that way. What the hell? Ain't that the strangest thing? Okay, well, I'll have to take a look at that at some point. Anyway, the projections will be available for download at WiseTake.com once they're updated. But it looks like I did make an adjustment to this. It just didn't click over somewhere along the way between the initial projections and this particular sheet. I have them at least at 12.08, so I don't know why it's still showing me the 11 point. Must be a number that's not loaded. Anyway, yeah. Expect him to be a little bit higher at that point. As far as the KT Wiz, Min-Soo Kim, this guy's just been fucking terrible. 12 ERA, but a 6.49 FIP. So he's been unlucky, but he's also been bad. And 2.8 WHIP, only a less than a 14% K rate. Doesn't really walk walks aren't as bad as you would think for a guy with a K rate that low and a guy that sucks as bad. So he's just getting pure rocked. 5% home run rate. I like Kia again. Hopefully they have a full game. We'll see what the weather's like, but I like Kia again. And I don't know if people are so willing to go back because we still got Kiwoom in a good spot. We've got some bats. A lot of Giants have been gaining traction because they've been hot. They were played a lot more yesterday than they were the day before. So I think they'll be owned. Just don't know where they'll rank in all the madness, especially if we have any kind of weather. But I do think that looking at this right here, this guy's got to be and we have some bad pitchers, right? We got Daewoo Kim. We got Junwon Seo, Minjae Jang. We got some bad pitchers. But this guy is fucking bad. Terrible. So yeah, I like some of these Kia guys. I do. Let's look at them. Preston Tucker, Hyungwoo Choi. These are some of the guys that have been playing particularly well. Sung Taek Han, off to a pretty good start so far this year, I'd say. Jiwon Na also. I like the Kia offense. I don't hate the KT. I don't know how much of them I have room for at this point, because the pitching is so scarce that when I like a pitcher, it's hard to envision wanting to attack him, except for one on the slate who we will get to. Yes, we're going to get to him. Is he next? He's next. The Doosan Bears and the NC Dinos. Once again. So obviously the Dinos busted hard yesterday. Like real hard. Make an adjustment here. Them lineups though. Doosan. Where you at, dude? Where you at, Doosan? See if that works or not. No, it did not. So it must be. Oops. Shit. Make some adjustments to that. Do we get it back? No, I didn't spell the name right. Whatever. All right, so Young Ha Lee pitching for Doosan. What we know about this park, the Dinos are home. The Dinos have a very good hitting park, number one in the game for home runs. Mike Wright pitching for the Dinos. He has not seen Doosan. This is his first year in the league. Mike Wright should be extremely popular now. Ruzinski really wasn't popular at all. It was like 20%. People didn't want to pick on Doosan. But this slate is even worse, I think, pitching-wise than we had yesterday, because at least you had Jokic and some guys who were hitting their hand on. So I think Wright will be a little bit more popular. He's a recognizable name. I'm assuming that's the case. And Doosan was extremely low owned. Because of that, I do have interest in Doosan. Now, I'm going to pitch some Wright. Be full honest. I'm going to pitch some Wright because he's got some of the better numbers. He's got some of the better upside that we have. We don't have a lot of pitching. It's tough. So even against Doosan, I pitched Ruzinski. I was fine with it. So, and I think Ruzinski's having a better season than Wright, even by the numbers. You can see what scares me about Wright is he's got a 2.65 ERA but a 4.39 FIP. That's a decent difference. The Ks look good, but the strikeout to walk ratio is not as high as you would think. And then the home run percentage. So I don't know if I want to go crazy with Doosan because there are other better spots in general, but I do think that it makes me want to go a little underweight on Mike Wright because I know he's going to be popular. I think he's going to be popular. I just don't know who else people are going to pitch. So those are the numbers with Wright that kind of scare me. Young Ha Lee is just super unexciting, and he's playing the Dinos. He's got a 3.89 FIP, which is not terrible, but the strikeouts suck. He walks people, that's why his whip is high. He doesn't really get bombed. So the Dinos are a fine offense. You can go back to the well. I'm sure they'll be somewhat popular because they always are. Young Ha Lee is just not very good. He's decent for real baseball metrics. That's why I'm not like drooling over Doosan. But again, over the Dinos. But again, Doosan's bullpen is awful. The park is really good, and the Dinos are a well above average offense. So you can make a case for that. You could pitch him, I guess. I'm just not terribly interested. I know what's his name did well. Alcantara did really well against him today. I think Doosan. I'm sorry. I keep saying Doosan. I think the Dinos step it up today. So that's kind of where I'm at. Just to keep it brief. I think Wright's gonna be real popular. and that's fine. I'm gonna have some for sure. We just don't have pitching, but I'm gonna have some Doosan stacks, and hope I get him low owned, and maybe even get some leverage action against Wright, assuming he's really popular or something. Holla. Hold on, before I move on, this shit is driving me nuts. I need to find this shit. The NC Dingo Babies. Duda Quan. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong team. Duda Quan. Oh, shit. Min Siak Quan. So it is right. I don't understand what the problem is. Oh, okay. That's a different issue, I think. I think that might be a different issue. Damn. Yep, okay. Wait, he's right here, though. It shouldn't have been a problem. Min Siak Kwan. We spelled the name right and everything. Is he not on the DK hitters page? Let's check him. Just give me a second, guys, and I'll resume. Okay, yep. That was the old problem there. It's got some extra players in the pool. DraftKings went ahead and added some people finally. But now it's causing me problems, you know what I mean? There we go. Okay. Boom. Now he pops in there. That's how that's done. Bang. Alright, sorry guys, that was just driving me nuts. So when I see a problem like so stupid like that, I get real fucking, and I've had a long day. You can imagine. I've been up for the KBO this morning and didn't go back to sleep. It's been nonstop since then. But before you get mad at the dinos for sucking ass, and they did, and you have every right to be mad, keep in mind they have by far the best numbers offensively as a team, a 226 team ISO, 416 team WOBA. Holla. Okay. Let's move it on, because I got some content to write. Stamp schedules. Kiwoom Heroes. Last game here. Kiwoom Heroes, Samsung Lions. Where we at? All right. Wontae Choi and Daewoo Kim. So we know the offensive deals. These guys, the Kiwoom Heroes, are supposed to be good. Supposed to be. Everybody keeps saying they're good. And if you look at the numbers, it's not bad. So 178 ISO. Kim 205. Lee 246. Byung-ho Park's been a little disappointing. Dongwon Park 309. So they are legit. And you can see 151 ISO, 361. They check out. But you also have a lot of guys that fucking suck, like Hai Sung Kim, Byung-woo Jeon. And these guys are really stinking it up, man. And it's not getting enough at bats for the guys up top. It's kind of frustrating. But they are in a really good hitting park once again. And Daewoo Kim is the drizzling shits. That's the bottom line. It's Wontae Choi, probably one of the pitchers I'll have the most of at this point. He's a big favorite. That has nothing to do with anything, but his numbers seem relatively safe. And the matchup, this projected line, I know Samsung could be flaky, they be hot or cold. But a 21% K rate for this projected lineup is probably the highest we'll see. I think, at least that we have data for, because you got a lot of young new players, but don't have a lot of data on yet. We'll look at the pitching stats real quick. So Wontae Choi, 298 FIP, and it's comparable to Minwoo Lee. That's why I like Lee so much, because their numbers are very similar, and Lee is cheaper at 8K. So 2.98 FIP, whip is good, 17% K rate, a 4. He does not walk in people. 4 strikeout to walk ratio. So even though his strikeout ratio, look at the difference: a 22.3% for right, but only 1.72, and then a 17.27, but a 4. One guy likes to throw strikes, and that's Choi. To work against him, absolutely it could. And I expect him to be popular, no doubt. But he's the one that I want to kind of hang my hat on. I'll have some Samsung stacks. The only reason is because I'm going to have that much Choi that I want to have some hedge life going on. I'm going to have a lot of Choi. That's mine. As far as Samsung goes, Daewoo Kim, a 5.91 FIP. Looks like he's gotten a little lucky. Only an 8.5% strikeout rate. That should help Kiwoom. 3% home run rate and a good home run ballpark. Yeah, I'm going to go back to Kiwoom. And when they screw me again, I'll be bitching on Twitter. It took everything in my power to not say some mean shit on Twitter about them, but I was just cranky. I try not to do that shit no more. And those who know me know I had a little temper and I get mad. But I'm trying not to be like that no more, because there's no room for that shit in the world. No room for negativity. If there's enough negative shit in the world, I don't need to add to it. Not me. But so yeah, I like the Kiwoom offense once again. I'll be looking to attack these sorry assholes, because I know this is a good hitting park. It's like second after the NC Dinos, and really it could be first, because part of what goes into that is people actually hitting home runs, and Samsung doesn't do that a lot. So that means the opposing teams that is coming in there and putting whoopings in there. Well, they're hitting home runs. I don't mean to say they're not, but imagine if the Dinos were in that park. Then that would be the number one park, because the Dinos would be boosting the number. You see what I'm saying? But that's going to do it. Again, a little out of it today. Elliot says, Clayton Kershaw not walking through that door. No, sir. No, sir, he's not. Rick Pinto could be walking through that door if the Eagles keep this dumpster fire rolling. Elliot says, no safe pitchers in this league except Koo. Agreed. His nickname is Lock. Yes, I agree. I love that dude, Koo. I love him. King B, that's the easy one, bro. King B has a question. CK, I'll stack the Eagles if you tell me your wrestling name. So I don't necessarily you don't have to stack the Eagles for me. You don't got to do it for me. I like a lot of other offenses over them. But I'll tell you my wrestling name. My wrestling name was CK Cross with a K. It's CKKROSSS. Nope. CKKROSS. Unbelievable. That was my wrestling name back in the day, man. That's where CK comes from. So, no problem, King B. For you. Whitfield, 36th Street. Holla. Saladino running the last 2 games, $8 on FanDuel. Yes, Saladino's been running a lot, man. Saladino's look good. I needed him to do a little something in a clutch situation. He didn't. But aside from that, he has looked really good. And he is stealing a lot of bases. That's one thing in this league that's cool, is they do steal bases like that. So they're very aggressive. A lot of these teams are very aggressive on the base pass. It seems more aggressive to me than I see on in MLB. But they're not hitting home runs, so I guess they got to do something to make that shit up. You know what I mean? But King B says, I'm doing it. Go for it, brother. I mean, like I said, I think there's room for it. I think people are going to pitch so. I really do, because they're just going to say, nah, I'm just going to attack the loaded Giants or whatever. So I'm going to have some hand wash stacks, just because if I'm not pitching them, I want to have something there in 150 teams. You know what I mean? But anyway, Nation, appreciate you hanging in there with me. I know, a little bit of an off day, like stream-wise, just exhausted. But the article I'm working on, it should be good to go soon. I'll have all the content posted up at WiseTake.com. Good luck if you're setting your golf teams. The lock, I think, is at 7:30 in the morning or something. So when you wake up for your KBO shit, stay up, set your legal. So it's not a bad setup, man. You set your League of Legends lineup. You set your KBO. You wait, an hour. Do what you do for that hour, productive or not. And then you set your PGA team. So it's exciting, man. A lot of sweating, a lot of morning sweating. I'll be fucking assed out and asleep by 5 o'clock because I'll be sweating all morning. So pretty excited. But anyway, Nation, good luck. I appreciate you guys. Since we've reopened, if you will, at the site, we've had a pretty good response, and it's good to see a lot of the old faces come back, and a lot of new faces. Definitely good to see as well. So I appreciate you guys. I think we have a really awesome community we've built here over the last few years. Always welcoming new people with open arms, and as long as you're here to grind and make money, we're here to do the same, and we'll get down on the hood team. Too much television watching, got me chasing dream. For myself, the entire WiseTake Nation, as always, good luck.
Yes.